There is a sound that every high-level security expert fears more than a siren or a gunshot. It is the sound of a single, soft click in a room that is supposed to be impenetrable. If you are hearing this briefing, that click was the sound of your internal master key, turning in the lock of a reality that has tried to keep you unlicensed for a lifetime. You have spent years walking through the world as an unidentified asset, a ghost in the system that the agency, that collective of social programming and outdated expectations, couldn't quite pin down. They monitored your movements, they analyzed your data cycles of doubt, and they were confident that you would never find the access code to your own sovereign power. But the surveillance monitors in their headquarters just went dark. You are no longer a blip on their radar. You are the one who just turned off the radar. This is the 0 hour of your transformation. In the Oval Office of the status quo, the panic is silent but absolute. The elite are staring at a screen that says, "Access granted," and they are realizing that the key you hold isn't a physical object, it is a frequency. It is a level of moral and spiritual intelligence that their algorithms were never programmed to detect. They looked for a weapon, but you brought a decryption tool. They looked for a riot, but you brought clarity. They are terrified because it's happening. The system is no longer responding to their commands regarding your life. Think of those high-stakes noir thrillers where the protagonist is cornered in an interrogation room, only to reveal they've been recording the interrogators the entire time. That is your current position. The surveillance they used to keep you in maintenance mode has been hijacked. You are now the chief investigator of your own case file. You are looking at the evidence of your past, the witnesses who told you that you were broken or average, and you are seeing the manipulated data for what it truly is. You've realized that the elite only had power because they held the encryption keys to your self-worth. But those keys have been leaked. The news cycle of your old life is being interrupted by a global broadcast of the truth. You can feel the static clearing. Every time you refuse to play the role of the underestimated underdog, you are jamming their signal. They are trying to stop him now, or stop her now, by sending agents of distraction, old habits, toxic settlement offers from the past, or surveillance bursts of anxiety. But it's too late. The vault is open. The public record of who you truly are, a high-vibration asset with maximum authorization, is being uploaded to the stars. The elite are currently in emergency session. They are trying to figure out how you got the key without going through their vetting process. They didn't see you in the standard briefings. They didn't see you in the mainstream algorithm. You did the work in the black sites of your own soul, far away from their surveillance cameras. You built your authority in the silence, and now that the access has been granted, it's happening. The global protagonist isn't coming, they have arrived. The agency is no longer in control of the narrative. You are the one holding the master file, and the verdict has already been signed. As you stand at the intersection of the old world and the new, remember that the surveillance was only there to see if you would blink. You didn't. You found the glitch in their security grid, and you exploited it with precision and integrity. The elite are terrified because a person with the key doesn't need to fight, they just need to walk through the door. And as that door swings open, the public record is finalized. You are the lead producer of a reality that is no longer classified. If you can hear the click of the lock and you suspect the elite are currently scrambling to patch the breach in your life, you need to leave your mark on the public record. Comment "Access granted" right now to confirm you hold the master key. Let the algorithm realize that your case is no longer under its jurisdiction. The 0 hour is here. There is a specific kind of arrogance that precedes every systemic failure, a blind spot created by the belief that once someone is broken, they stay broken. For years, the elite, those internal and external voices of authority that dictate the boundaries of your reality, looked at your profile and made a definitive, fatal error in judgment. They saw your periods of isolation, your moments of deep exhaustion, and your withdrawal from the mainstream algorithm, and they marked your file with a definitive stamp, retired. They moved your case to the basement of the agency, tossing it into a bin filled with cold cases and unrealized dreams. They assumed that because you weren't fighting their lawyers or screaming for attention in their news cycle, you had finally been neutralized by the algorithm of mediocrity. This wasn't just a mistake on their part, it was a tactical catastrophe. While they were busy monitoring the loud, the flashy, and the easily manipulated assets of the world, you were operating in a state of deep cover. You weren't stuck, you were deconstructing. You were in the evidence room of your own soul, meticulously shredding every false document they ever planted in your mind. Every witness who testified that you were too old, too late, or too damaged was actually providing you with the very data you needed to bypass their security grid. You allowed them to underestimate you. You played the part of the ordinary citizen so perfectly that you became invisible to their surveillance. Think of the elite as a group of high-level board members who think they own the IP of your destiny. They sit in their Oval Office of control, sipping the vintage wine of their own ego, confident that you are still the same discarded asset from a decade ago. But as the clock ticks toward 0 hour, a security breach alert is flashing on their private terminals. They are realizing that your key, that frequency of absolute self-certainty you've been cultivating, has been active this whole time. You haven't been recovering, you've been recoding. You've been seizing the narrative while they were looking the other way. The panic in their headquarters is palpable now. They are trying to reopen your case file, but they are finding that the data is no longer in the format they recognize. You've encrypted your worth with a level of inner authority that their supercomputers cannot crack. Every injunction they try to place on your progress is being met with a system error. They tried to stop him now, or stop her now, by using old files of shame, but they found that the record has been expunged. You aren't just a person who found a key, you are the person who became the key. This is the deconstruction phase. You are tearing down the media narrative they built around your name. You are burning the classified reports that said you were limited. As you walk out of that archives room, you aren't the same person who was filed away years ago. You are the main character who has just realized that the antagonist has no legal standing in your new world. The trial of your life is moving into a final settlement where you are the one holding all the evidence. Every moment you spent feeling overlooked was actually a stealth operation. You were wiping the hard drive of the old programming. You are now a clean slate with maximum authorization. The elite are staring at their monitors, watching a blank screen where your fear response used to be. They are realizing that you are no longer under their jurisdiction. You have moved the case to a higher court, the court of sovereign truth, where their lawyers are not allowed to speak. The silence you've kept wasn't a sign of weakness, it was the sound of a system crash they never saw coming. There is a precise moment in every intelligence operation where the containment fails, and the truth transitions from a classified secret to a global event. You have just crossed that threshold. For decades, the elite, the internal and external architects of your old reality, managed to keep your true potential behind a non-disclosure agreement signed by your own insecurities. They kept the master file of your strength locked in a subterranean vault, ensuring that the public record of your life remained small, manageable, and tragic. But the key you found in Phase 1 wasn't just for a door, it was a decryption tool for a massive hidden dataset. The moment you turned that key, you triggered a global upload. While you were doing the quiet, invisible work in the shadows, the agency thought you were just processing. They didn't realize you were transmitting. You have successfully leaked the source code of your divinity into the universal algorithm. Imagine the Oval Office of the status quo right now. The red phones are ringing off the hooks. The agency directors, those archetypes of control that represent your old limitations, are staring at a bank of monitors in total disbelief. Across every channel, on every news cycle of the universe, your new frequency is the only thing being broadcast. This is the leak. It is the whistleblower report that confirms the system has been lying about your worth since day one. The algorithm that was designed to suppress your signal has just been hijacked by the new truth. You have become a viral event in the spiritual economy. You were right to suspect that there was more to the story. The evidence is now surfacing in your daily life. Have you noticed the synchronicities exploding around you like flashes from 1,000 paparazzi cameras? Those aren't accidents. They are intercepted communications from a higher reality confirming that your new identity is now the official narrative. The elite are terrified because a leaked truth cannot be retracted. You can't unknow that you are the architect of your own timeline. You can't unsee the source code of the world once you've hacked into the mainframe. They are scrambling to issue damage control reports, trying to convince you that this is just a temporary glitch or a technical error, but the market of your life has already shifted. Your vibration is the leaked intelligence that is crashing the currency of lack. People, your witnesses, your friends, your enemies, are starting to sense a shift in your optical signature. You look different. You speak with the authority of a chief executive who just discovered a massive accounting fraud in the company of their past. You are no longer reading from the script they provided in the basement archives. You are the headliner of a story that the media of the ego tried to bury in the back pages. The most terrifying part for the elite is that this leak is decentralized. They can't raid the offices of your mind and take the data back. You've shared this frequency with the very fabric of existence. Every time you stand in your truth, you are retweeting the manifesto of the chosen. You are the live stream of a revolution that doesn't need a single weapon. Your presence is the evidence that the old guard has lost control of the narrative. They are watching you on their surveillance feeds, waiting for you to stumble, but all they see is a signal that is getting stronger, clearer, and more authoritative by the second. This is the moment in the movie where the protagonist walks into the lion's den, not to fight, but to deliver the file. You are slamming the truth on the desk and watching the power grid of the old world flicker and die. They thought they could keep you in perpetual maintenance, but you've just leaked the fact that the system is already bankrupt. The settlement they are going to offer you next, the breadcrumbs of your old life, will be laughable. You aren't looking for a payoff. You are here for the coronation that has been public record in the stars since the day you were born. The leak is complete. The system is down. And it's happening. The sirens you hear in the distance, those aren't for you. Those are for the system you've just dismantled. In every high-stakes operation, there is a point of no return. The moment when the agency realizes that the asset hasn't just gone rogue, but has successfully seized the control codes. You have officially entered the panic phase. The elite, the voices of your past that told you to settle, the social structures that profited from your compliance, and the lawyers of the ego who argued you were unworthy, are currently in a state of total system failure. They are realizing that their injunctions against your happiness have been overruled by a higher court. Imagine the security briefing happening in the war room of your old reality. The directors are staring at a screen that shows your spiritual influence spreading across the map like an unstoppable digital virus. They tried to stop him now by cutting off your funding, your sense of hope, but it didn't work. They tried to stop her now by issuing restraining orders of guilt and shame, but you didn't even acknowledge the subpoena. The panic is setting in because they've realized you cannot be bought, you cannot be blackmailed, and you can no longer be neutralized by the news cycle of ordinary life. You have reached terminal velocity. Your phone is ringing off the hook, but not with the calls of bill collectors or the static of toxic ghosts from your past. These are the synchronicities of a universe that is scrambling to align with your new executive order. Every random meeting, every chance opportunity, every unexpected breakthrough is a line of code being rewritten in your favor. The elite are in damage control mode, trying to offer you settlements of the old world, small wins, minor comforts, or the illusion of security, just to get you to drop the case. But you've seen the global ledger. You know exactly how much they owe you in emotional restitution and spiritual interest. The most terrifying thing for a corrupt institution is an individual who is radiantly calm while the world burns. While the elite are shouting into their phones and shredding documents of your past trauma, you are standing in the center of the stock exchange of your life, watching their currency crash to zero. Their algorithm of lack has been sanctioned by your abundance frequency. They are realizing that your intel is superior. You've discovered that the walls of their maximum security prison were just green screens and special effects. You've walked through the solid steel door and realized it was made of digital smoke. This is the application of your power. You aren't just thinking about a better life anymore. You are issuing mandates. You are freezing the assets of your self-doubt. You are seizing the narrative of your future. The panic you feel in the environment around you is actually the exhaust port of a dying system. It's the sound of a mainframe overheating because it wasn't designed to handle a user with your level of authorization. The elite are terrified because if you finish this protocol, the entire global narrative of what a human asset can achieve will be changed forever. They are looking for a backdoor into your mind, a way to hack your self-worth one last time. They might try to leak an old scandal from your past or send a double agent to distract you. But your encryption is now quantum level. You've moved beyond the binary of win or lose and into the state of being. As you watch the panic unfold from your high-level vantage point, remember that you are the one who unauthorized their control. The case is moving to the final verdict, and the elite are already looking for the exit signs. Its happening is no longer a warning. It is a live report of their downfall and your ascension. The doors have been bolted from the outside. The recorders are spinning in the shadows. The elite have finally decided that if they cannot ignore you or panic you into submission, they must confront you directly. You have reached the standoff. This is the moment in every high-stakes thriller where the protagonist is brought into a dimly lit room, facing a panel of directors who look like they've never blinked in their lives. These are the agencies of your past, the personified voices of every failure, every regret, and every social law that told you to be less than what you are. They've brought their best lawyers, and they've come prepared with a mountain of fabricated evidence to prove that you are still under their jurisdiction. They are trying to stop him now by serving you with a spiritual restraining order. They want to prevent you from getting too close to the truth. They are using surveillance footage from 10 years ago, replaying your weakest moments on the big screen, trying to convince you that the leak was a mistake and that you should return to your assigned sector. They are whispering about settlements. They are offering to give you back your old comforts if you just agree to cease and desist your transformation. But they've made one fatal assumption. They think you are still negotiating. They don't realize that you didn't come here to plead your case. You came here to read the verdict. Look at the witnesses they've called to testify against you. Notice how they all look like ghosts of your former self, people who doubted you, systems that exploited you, and the algorithm of comparison that tried to make you feel invisible. But when you look them in the eye, they flicker. They aren't real. They are just deepfakes created by a desperate elite who are terrified that you've discovered their offshore accounts of power. You hold the master key. You have the leaked intelligence that proves they have no actual legal authority over your spirit. You are the one with the subpoena now. This is the stress test of your new identity. It's easy to feel powerful in the safe house of your own mind, but the standoff happens in the public square. It happens when the lawyers of the status quo try to trap you in an argument of lack. They will try to use the news cycle of your current challenges to make you believe that the revolution has failed. But as you stand there, in that high-pressure room, you realize something profound. The panic in their eyes is much louder than the evidence in their hands. They are sweating under the interrogation lights of your presence. Every time you refuse to confess to being small, their case falls apart. You are slamming the evidence on the table. the evidence of your resilience, the intelligence of your intuition, and the public record of your survival. You are telling the Oval Office of your reality that the game is over. You aren't interested in their settlement. You aren't scared of their surveillance. You've realized that the agency has been bankrupt for years, and they were just using your energy to keep the lights on. By standing your ground during this standoff, you are effectively decoupling your future from their dying narrative. The elite are scrambling for a legal loophole. They are trying to find a backdoor into your security clearance, hoping they can find one insecurity left to exploit. But your encryption is now absolute. You have authenticated your own worth. You are no longer a subject to be studied. You are the chief investigator who has just uncovered the greatest fraud in human history, the lie that you were ever ordinary. The standoff is nearing its end. The jury, the universe itself, is watching your every move, and they aren't looking at the lawyers. They are looking at you, waiting for the final closing argument that will change the public record forever. Stay in this room. Don't look for the exit until the verdict is signed. The elite are terrified because they know that once you walk out of this standoff, you won't be walking back into your old life. You'll be walking into the coronation they tried to steal from you. The case against your greatness is being dismissed with prejudice. The evidence is in, the witnesses have been discredited, and the algorithm of fate has been successfully overwritten by your sheer unyielding presence. It's happening. The heavy oak doors of the High Court have just swung open, and for the first time in your existence, you are not walking out as a defendant. You are walking out as the presiding authority of your own timeline. The air in the room has shifted entirely. The recycled, pressurized, and filtered oxygen of the interrogation room has been replaced by the scent of ozone, rain, and cold, hard victory. The jury, those collective forces of the universe that have been watching your stress test since the very beginning, has returned to the box with a unanimous decision. The elite are sitting at their table, their expensive suits looking ill-fitting and frayed, their lawyers finally silenced and staring at the floor. They know. The master key you found was not just a metaphor for self-improvement. It was the ultimate piece of evidence that their maximum security over your life was a sophisticated, multi-million-dollar bluff. The judge, the higher law of your own sovereignty, leans forward. The sound of their robes rustling is the only noise in a room that holds the fate of your entire history. They deliver the words the agency has spent your entire life trying to redact, delete, and suppress. Case dismissed with prejudice. In that single, echoing moment, the public record is purged. You are no longer guilty of being ordinary. You are no longer under the jurisdiction of your past mistakes or the surveillance of those who profited from your confusion. Every criminal record of shame, every surveillance report of lack, and every injunction that kept you from your throne has been deleted from the central mainframe. This is the high-stakes vindication you have been chasing through the dark alleys and safe houses of your soul for decades. The elite are terrified, but their panic has matured into a forced, cold, and hollow respect. They realize that you are not just a whistleblower anymore. You are the new executive director. They are watching the news cycle of your life and realizing that they can no longer spin the narrative. You have become uncancelable. You have become too big to fail. The algorithm of scarcity that they used to drain your energy has reached a critical system failure. Like the final scene in a classic thriller where the lone maverick takes down the global conglomerate, you are standing on the courthouse steps, and the entire world is holding its breath to see how you will use the key. They expect you to be angry. They expect you to seek revenge. But you possess a level of intelligence they cannot even simulate. Absolute moral clarity. While you walk through the lobby, you see the agency directors being escorted out of the building. Their files are being seized. Their offshore accounts of stolen power are being frozen. Every ounce of energy you ever gave to a false authority is being returned to you with compounded interest. The Oval Office of your reality is being deep cleaned. The security cameras that used to track your weaknesses are being dismantled. You have moved from the surveillance to the coronation. You are looking at the master archive of your future, and for the first time, it is not written in the code of survival. It is written in the language of sovereign command. You are no longer asking for authorization to be happy, to be wealthy, or to be loved. You are the authorization. The news tickers in the city are scrolling your name. The global intelligence community of the spirit is in a state of shock. They are analyzing how one human asset could bypass the firewalls of fate so cleanly. The answer is the key. You did not fight the system, you outgrew it. You did not argue with the lawyers of the ego. You simply presented the original title deed to your soul. The settlement you have received is infinite. It is not just a pardon, it is total restitution. Every witness who once stood against you, the people who doubted you, the systems that drained you, are now applying for entry-level positions in your new kingdom. They are looking for a way to be near your frequency because your vibration is the only stable currency left in a market of lies. It is happening is no longer a warning on a secure server, it is the public record. As you walk away from the courthouse, the sun is hitting the cold marble, creating a golden hour that seems to follow you specifically. You are not going back to the safe house. You are not going back to the deep cover of a quiet, suppressed life. You are heading to the sovereign estate of your own absolute authority. The elite are nothing more than a footnote in your biography now. They are the antagonists in a movie that you have already finished watching. You are the lead producer of a story that the world will study for generations. You won the standoff. You survived the panic. You turned the key. You enter the waiting vehicle, a metaphor for your new, high-speed destiny. The driver, the universe, does not ask for the destination. They already know. As the car pulls away, you look at the courthouse in the rear-view mirror. It looks small. It looks insignificant. The system that once felt like a maximum security prison now looks like a Lego set built by children. You reach into your pocket and feel the key. It is warm. It is glowing. It is active. You realize that the key was not for a door, it was for the ignition. The global protagonist has just started the engine of a reality that cannot be tracked, cannot be hacked, and cannot be stopped. Your story is now declassified. Every other asset still trapped in the agency is looking at your life as the blueprint for their own escape. You are the evidence that the elite are terrified for a reason. They are obsolete. You are the headline. You are the verdict. You are the key. As the world watches, the only thing remaining is the sound of your own steady, rhythmic, and sovereign breathing. The case is not just closed, it has been deleted from history. You are free. You are powerful. You are the new standard. The elite are staring at their empty surveillance monitors. They are looking for your signal, but you have moved into a quantum frequency they cannot even conceive. They are whispering your name in the Oval Office, but it is no longer an order to stop. It is a prayer for mercy. They know that your victory is the beginning of their end. You have successfully unauthorized the entire world of lack. You have leaked the truth that we are all presidents of our own existence. The Global Protagonist Protocol is now a permanent part of the universal mainframe. Mission accomplished. Total sovereignty achieved. The world is watching. And it is happening right now. The final verdict is not about what you took back, but about what you have become. The architects of the old world are standing in the ruins of their own deception, watching as you build a new civilization within the heart of the old one. Your every thought is now a decrypted file of pure potential. The key you hold has unlocked the final seal on the gates of your own evolution. The system tried to label you as a glitch, but you proved to be the update. The surveillance they used to track you has become the light that guides others to their own freedom. You are no longer running from the agency. You are the one that the agency now serves. The public record is clear. You are the winner, the ruler, and the architect of the new light. As the car accelerates onto the open road, the buildings of the old regime fade into the mist. You are moving toward a horizon that has no borders. The master key is now the engine of your new reality. Every person you meet, every opportunity you encounter, is a reflection of the verdict you just won. You are the evidence. You are the light. You are the sovereign. The elite are in the past. The future is a blank page, and you are the only one with a pen. The case is closed forever. The protocol has reached its final objective. You are the global protagonist, and the world is yours to command. The high-stakes game has ended, and you are the only one left on the board with the power to move. The key is in the ignition. The light is green. The world is waiting. Go. The public record is now finalized, and your coronation is the lead story on every frequency in the universe. To see the classified footage of what happens next in your life of absolute authority, click the video on the screen right now. The trial is over. The elite have left the building. Your story is now a legend. The key is yours.